So we already installed the Git in our device. So now it's time for the initial setup of Git. So before the initial setup, I'd like to tell you some comments, that is pwd and cd. Cd is change directory and pwd is print work directory. So if I write over here pwd, you can see this is the present directory. And now if I want to move to the desktop, I can simply write the cd space desktop, which is the by default directory, so it already exists. And if I click enter, it will move to the desktop directory. Now if I write pwd, you can see it is now in the desktop directory. And we can also open the git bash from the directory itself. We will see that later on. There are two types of git: command line git and GUI git. There are so many features in the command line git, you can control all the features, but in GUI git, all the features are in a interface form and you can use those features easily. That means in GUI, if you click on any interface or any command, the command line codes will work behind the scene, and in the UI you will see all the things in an understandable form. So if you want to be a good coder, you should always know the command line codes. So I'll suggest you, first you should master in the command line codes, then you should go to the GUIs. So now you can see I made a folder for this tutorial, Git tutorial over here. Now I want to redirect the Git directory to this folder. Okay, for that let me close this thing, and over this blank section press shift and then right click. Then you will get two options, Git GUI here and Git bash here. For now I want to use the command line, that's why I'll choose the Git bash here, and let me increase the font size. Now you can see the folder is desktop and Git tutorial. Okay, so this is the shortcut how to open Git in a specific directory. So now we have to set the username and user email ID, so that if you commit anything, commit means the snapshot, like if you edit anything in the code, the admin will contact you through the email ID you gave. Okay, so to set the username, we have to write git config, then minus minus global, and then user dot name, then your name. Okay, and if you press the upper arrow key, it will just copy the above comment. So I am pressing the up arrow key and you can see it copied the previous comment. So over here I would like user dot, like the previous thing is same, so user dot email, and in the inverted commas your email ID, and so now if you want to see what is your name, you can just write git config, git config user dot name, and you can see it shows your name. And similarly, if you want to see your email ID, you can just write over here git config user dot email, it will show your email ID. And if you want to see whether this thing is saved properly or not, you can just write over here git config hyphen hyphen list, and then you can see it is showing over here username DIptam and user email, that this thing. So I hope you did the initial setup. So now we will see what are the things you can do in Git. And I can assure you that after watching 3 to 4 videos, you can start using Git easily.